Tamara is going to come on stage. She always laughs at me every time I say her name, because I do it in my head. I stutter before I even know. Tamara is coming on stage, and I told her I was going to do that. This is a person who's just living authentically. I'm going to read her bio, or her blurb, but what I really want you to feel is what it looks like when someone lives authentic. So we're going to welcome our storyteller, Tamara, who's whether roller skating, working as a flight attendant. She inspires through her passion for life. She genuinely connects with people through her writing, speaking, and work as a breast cancer survivor. So we're going to welcome her on stage. Hit it, guys, in the back for her.
That you were going to see a skating storyteller. I am so happy to be here this afternoon. And Lori, thank you so much, Tamara, for getting my name right. Tamara like a camera. I've had to use that all my little life, you know what I mean? But that's the way people get it. First and foremost, you're probably wondering, why is she in these skates? But as we go along this afternoon, and as I talk to you, I think you're going to walk away with understanding why I am in these skates. I've been skating since I was 3 years old. So 40 years I've been skating. And I was first introduced to skating by my Aunt Jeanette. Jeanette took me skating when I was 3. And from that point on, I've just always skated. I remember being around 7 years of age, and I got my first roller skates. They were white vinyl. They were Chicago girl roller skates with blue urethane wheels. I love these skates. I wiped them off all the time. Every time I came back from the skating rink, I wiped them off, and then my mom probably thought I was a little crazy, a little, OCD, but that's me. So now I have some black skates, so I don't even have to worry about that, so I don't have to, but I'm still really careful with them because these are my babies. As I started to get a little older, I would go skating every Sunday afternoon, which I think a lot of you probably grew up maybe roller skating and put it down, but I just never did. I kept it going. I used to go skating in the evenings with my aunt on a Sunday evening, and I watched the adults skate because I just loved it. I lived it. I breathed it. As I started to get into my tween and teen years, I was going to marathon skates. I was like, I'm from the Midwest. We have a pretty vibrant culture for roller skating. At least we did when I lived there and as I was growing up. So I'm from Dayton, I would drive to Cincinnati. My aunt would give me her car. I have to go to the marathon skate to Cincinnati. When I would go out with my friends, when we would socialize, I went skating to socialize, but I went skating to skate. My friends may be in the corner talking. Tamara was on the floor, always, all the time. Where I'm from, you had jamming couples. I was jamming out there. You had trios. I was out there with 2 other people. You had ladies only. I was out there then. The only time I was off the floor is when they had men only because, quite obvious, I'm not a man, so I had to get off the floor. So that's just letting you know how passionate I am about roller skating. And I'm going to give you a little snapshot of my breast cancer journey. I am a breast cancer survivor. I'm actually approaching my 3rd year survivorship. breast cancer journey, it allowed me to reprioritize and transform my thoughts towards my authentic self and being authentic to what it is that I'm truly passionate about. One of the things that I heard Matt say earlier is that, you know, it's not always comfortable being authentic. And that's a very true statement. And I consider myself to be authentic in a lot of different areas of my life, but when it came down to admitting how I was going to deal with or my dream around roller skating, I kind of shunned it because it wasn't of the society standards, or at least that's what I thought. You know, I have 2 degrees, a political science degree, a master's in publishing concentrated in magazines, and you know, I'm already a flight attendant. I love doing that, but I'm not really using my degrees, you know. So now you're talking about roller skating. So I had to say, stop that. You know what I mean? Do you, be you. So I want to talk to you a little bit about my journey, just briefly, of my breast cancer survival journey. I was diagnosed with stage 2 breast cancer December 14th, 2011. And you know what? Let me back that up for 1 second before I go there. When I wanted to talk to you about my passion around roller skating as well, I want to talk to you and tell you about music. Music is very, very important when you are skating. When I hear a song, I automatically think, how am I going to skate to it? Can I skate backwards? Can I skate forwards? Am I going to be fast? Am I going to be slow? And hit it, Dave. Love what you do and do what you love. Love what you do and do what you love. Love what you do and do what you love. And that is roller skating. It's authentically me, and my breast cancer journey brought me to that realization. Like I said, I was diagnosed with stage 2 breast cancer December 14, 2011. I had to go through chemotherapy, I had a unilateral mastectomy, I had 6 weeks of radiation, and I also had to undergo natural breast reconstruction, which was my choice. And it was a year process from beginning to end. But I want to share with you how I moved through these different stages authentically. You know, I have a son, and he was 7 years old when I was diagnosed with breast cancer. So I was pretty as open with him as much as I could be without scaring him. And I told him that I was going to be changing my appearance. And what he knew me to look like, it was going to be different. So he was on hair watch, you know. He was watching, you know, to see about my hair. And at that particular time, I had locks, longer dreadlocks. And I was happy about these locks because it takes a while to get your hair, you know, women, you know, it takes us a minute sometimes to get our hair together. They were just coming in right and everything, and then pow-yow. Chemo. So here's my hair, it's coming out. So it's already out. So my son is petrified of a bald-headed mom. So I don't wear a wig. I choose not to wear a wig, so I don't get into that. But I do wear a lot of scarves. I rock a lot of scarves and wear a lot of scarves. So as I start to get further into my chemo, I started getting hot. You know, hot flashes were coming. I was just burning up. So I said, Zion, I said, you know, mommy is getting real hot. And I said, you know how we say when we're at home, we need to be comfortable, we need to be who we are and feel good about what we are and feel comfortable at home? And he was like, yes, ma'am. And I was like, well, mommy needs to do that. And I said, and I need to come out of this scarf or I'm gonna faint. And his little eyes got so big. And he says to me, okay, Mom. And I said, well, listen, this is what I'm gonna do. So I said, I'm gonna turn around and I'm gonna take my scarf off. And you just talk to the back of Mom's bald head, okay? So I do that and we're talking And all of a sudden he says, Mom, I'm gonna count to 10. And when I get to 10, I want you to turn around. So he counts to 10, and I turned around, and my little kid's eyes got so big, like a deer in headlights. And his little eyes watered up, but the teardrops didn't drop. And he came over to me, and he was like, Mom, you're so beautiful. And I was like, that's an authentic moment for me and for you. And as I went on through this journey, my husband has been just a wonderful support system through this whole thing. You know, here I am, been married at this point. We've been married now 10 years, but when this was going on, 8. He's never known me to be sick, have any problems, you know, physically okay. And now all of a sudden, I have been altered drastically. I have one breast at the moment. I am scarred. I have radiation burns. I look like a rotisserie chicken around here under my arms and stuff. And I'm like, don't you want to see it? Look, I'm being real, you know. Look, babe, look, you know, look. And he's like, okay, you know, he's kind of hesitant, you know, he's being supportive, but I think I'm being real. I'm authentic. I'm real. Come look, come see. And he says, you know what? He was like, if it doesn't have anything to do, if it's around something medical, babe, I'm going to help you. I'm going to be there. But I just prefer not to really have to look. And you know what? I really can't blame him too much, you know. It is pretty devastating to see your loved one go through something like this and be supportive. It's a hard thing. So he had to be authentic in letting me know how he felt, and I was trying to be authentic in showing him that I was handling this. And I also remember doing this stage, I saw a counselor because I needed to talk this over. And I'll never forget, I was on the tail end of my natural breast reconstruction, and I was waiting to get my nipple and my areola tattooed. And I was in there talking, and I said, you know, my mound, you know, I can't wait my mound. I kept calling, and she was like, don't call it a mound. You are detaching yourself from that. This is a part of you. It's your breast. I was like, it's not to me, not yet, because it doesn't have a nipple and it doesn't have an areola. But if that's what you want me to do, while I'm in here, I'm going to do that. So that's what I did. So through my breast cancer journey, it has allowed me to be, you know, even more authentic than what I thought I was before this. And the interesting thing is that I feel like I have this authenticity kind of woven into my DNA already. And you know, I'm not a perfect being, and no one is. So sometimes I stifle myself. And I want to say that I learned how to be authentic by observation and by being with my parents. My mom and my dad are two of the most authentic people that I have met thus far in my life. And I'm so thankful that I come from them. I watch my mom, you know, I'm a 70s baby. I was born in 71. And my mom was into yoga. I'm from the Midwest. I'm from Dayton, Ohio. It's not like I'm from California. You know, my mom was into yoga, you know, back then in the 70s, you know, early 70s. She was a vegetarian before, you know, it became like the in thing to do. So I kind of watched my mom be her authentic self. And I'm pretty sure at certain times it was not comfortable, but that's who she was and who she is today. And I think about my father, God bless him. I lost my dad a year ago, this month, November 1st, lung cancer. But I have to tell you something. My dad was a dynamic human being. He was a wonderful man, a Renaissance man. Anything you needed, anything you thought you needed, he could sing, he could dance, he was charismatic, he was handsome, he was a good friend, a good husband, a brother. He was everything to me, and I might be a little biased because he's my dad. He's my dad. But I have so many stories about him, but one in particular is when he was in the hospital, He was diagnosed with his lung cancer in 2010. God bless my mom. 2010, my dad, 2011, me. And he came back, metastasized in 2013. And it came back in his head. He was in the hospital. And when he was there, he was on the phone calling to order some barbecue. This was the 4th of July weekend. I know my dad is struggling with motor skills and stuff because it's affecting, the tumor is up there, but he is on the phone. This is what he does. He was ordering a big order for the staff and himself at the hospital. But that's my dad. That was Daddy. So, I learned that he was, even in the midst of his transitioning, he knew he was dying. But he's going to be himself, and he's going to do him. So, it's woven into my DNA, and I'm just happy about that. So out of this, I decided, you know what? I'm gonna blog. I'm gonna blog about roller skating. Who does that? It's not like I'm talking about the technical aspects and the wheels. I'm talking about my passion. I'm talking about memories. I'm trying to build an online community around roller skates. I never stopped. And I know that some of you used to skate, but you stopped. Oh, that's something I did when I was a child. Guess what? I'm 43 and I still do it. And I love it. And it is my goal to continue to be authentic to myself. Keep writing about it. Keep skating. And I'm going to open up a facility here in Charlotte. You all are going to be invited. Laces and Wheels Family Roller Skating Center. Come on in. You see my shirt? It says, don't be a hater, be a roller skater. So, needless to say, I didn't want to get cancer. No one does. No one wants to have some severe health issue. But out of it, it has transformed me, and it has helped me to reprioritize my life and be more authentic to myself. And I'm appreciative of that. And one of the conversations that my husband and I had, and this is pre-cancer, he always says, what is it that you would love to do every day? What is it that you would like to get up and do every day? What will fulfill you? And I'm like, roller skating. Roller skating. That's like always my answer, roller skating, you know what I mean? And like I had to stop self-sabotaging myself about that. Like I said earlier, this is not made prestigious. I'm not like from Fortune 500 company, CEO, attorney, judge, lawyer. Nothing's wrong with that. But it's just, to me, it was not looked upon as anything that would be, I guess, quote unquote, respected. But guess what? It's me, and I'm gonna do me. And one of the things I want you guys to take away from this is that think about what it is that you're passionate about, what it is that you want to do. You may not even know that right now, but take a moment just to think about it. Think about it. And once you get that in your mind, I challenge you and you and you and you to be about it and be authentic and do it, because I know I am. Roll bounce, baby. Hit it.
All right.